It was a cold week, so run to celebrate a victory and keep everyone warm at the same time. Touch 'em all, dial the wall. Nice shot over that left field fence. Great time for a base knock as we bring you all the best highlights, hoping for a smash hit. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Schmidt. I missed you. You're criticizing my intro already, so I did miss you. But good to be back, and a happy anniversary to you and your lovely wife, Charlotte.
Thank you.
What year is this? Number 40?
18.
18.
Yes. And very glad to have you back. I was lost at sea.
I bet you were.
Up here by myself.
I
But
bet.
not a ton of video. And as you just kind of briefly touched on weather a factor this past week. So some teams lost some of their events. Unfortunately, so not as much as we'd like, but an exciting week because this is the final week of the regular season for a couple of teams. We're talking playoffs.
Playoffs are right around the corner. It's very exciting. And we always talk about how that spring session is the shortest of them all.
The spring season goes very, very fast. So if you blink, you may just miss it. Baseball team in action last Tuesday against the Maple Grove Crimson. They lose 3-1. Ray Wellner, a pretty well-pitched game through 6 innings, gave up just 3 hits, 3 runs. Only 2 of them were earned. He had a walk and 5 strikeouts, but only 4 hits on the board for the Cardinals. McCoy Merkel drove in the 1 run, and a double for Noah Wolf, the only extra base hit for the Cardinals in that one. On Thursday, they bounced right back with a 5-2 win over the Spring Lake Park Panthers. Jake Hansen goes the distance for the win, giving up 6 hits, 2 runs, only 1 of which was earned. A walk with 6 strikeouts. Nice night for Noah Wolf, 3 for 4 with an RBI. Dial the wall went 2 for 4, drove in 2. Tyler Brick and Avery Lehman also went 2 for 4. Well, the Cardinals were hoping to carry some of that momentum forward, get right back on a win streak when they hosted New Prague under the lights on Friday night. Trojans are a streaky team, and they were trying to get turned in the right direction following back-to-back losses. It was a tight one that went all the way down to the final inning. Runs coming at a premium on a cold and windy night at Wintercrest. New Prague strikes first, top of the third. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Rolled to short, Domovic to Merkel for 1. But the relay is over. Brick's head at first. Connor Pint scores from third, and the Trojans have the first lead of the night. Cardinals answer in the bottom half of the inning. Noah Wolf with a sinking line drive to center. Fielder dives but can't make the catch. Domovic will hustle home from second, and it's a 1-1 game. Trojans get right back in front in the top of the 4th. Pint able to find the gap in left center. Nathan Berg will score on the double and put New Prague in front 2-1. Same score, top of 7. The squeeze is on to try and add some insurance, and a great bunt laid down. Adam Myers then uses the speed to beat out the throw. Everybody safe, 3-1 New Prague. Cardinals need a rally in their final at bat, and you just can't get a better start than this. Dial the wall. Going deep over the left field fence. Leadoff home run, his first round trip of the year. Cuts it back to a 1-run game. 2 outs. Now, in the tying run at first base, Robert Morissette lines it to short left. Bridger Hahn dives but can't make the catch. Great recovery, though. Throwing a bullet to third from his knees to get Crawford at the bag. And that ends the game. Cardinals come up short, 3-2 the final. It was chilly, but an exciting game. And in the finish, I can't say I was very impressed with Bridger Hahn. Made a great effort on the ball, came up just short, and then stays in the play and threw a bullet from his knees.
A dart from
to
his
get
knees.
Crawford. I mean, Crawford's got wheels.
Yeah, it's a tough loss for the Cardinals. Giving up that 3rd run really hurt them. It put them 2 runs behind, and you saw they were able to get that 2nd run. Couldn't put that 3rd across the board, but it was definitely a cold evening. And I'm sure everybody kind of wanted to go home at that point because it was cold.
That 3rd run came on an error in the to start the top of the 7th inning, and you saw the squeeze play to bring him home, but unfortunate. But the Cardinals got right back. They get a win today against Park Center, putting up a 2-0 win over the Park Center Pirates. And the pitching has been outstanding the last couple of weeks, limiting the amount of runs they're giving up.
Yeah, Dan Matthews a 2-hitter today, so it was nice. Cardinals only got 2 hits of their own, but they counted and obviously get that 2-0 win. I believe that now there's their 10th win of the season.
Yeah, and they've only got a handful of games left as well. They host Centennial on Tuesday night under the lights at Wintercrest. And Howie,
We'll be there.
they are at Armstrong on Thursday. Softball team incredibly busy with a couple of games last week and then a tournament over the weekend. It started on Tuesday with a trip to Maple Grove, and it's not one the Cardinals want to remember. They lost that one 14-4. Kennedy Kerr goes 3 for 3, scores a run, but Abby Graham and Alyssa Hansen both 2 for 3, as was Jade Gomez, but just not enough offense. And it really came down to a couple of huge innings for Maple Grove. In like the 5th and 6th innings, they just blew that one open.
Yeah, again, just good hitting for the Crimson and gave them that big lead, and Cardinals couldn't do anything to get back into the contest.
Correct.
Well, the Cardinals need to shake off that loss as quickly as possible, but Thursday they were back on the road facing another very tough conference team. The Spring Lake Park Panthers had won 3 straight, including a 5-4 win over Maple Grove, who had just handed Coon Rapids its worst loss of the season. Cardinals weren't fazed. They knew they had to play better and avoid giving up any big innings. Panthers offense set the pounce right away. Big hit for Maddie Skirka as she rides it down the left field line out of the reach of Larson. Kayla Kraska is going to come all the way around with the first run of the game on that triple by Skirka. Pitcher Haley Jones, she's up next as she helps her own cause with a little bloop single to short center. The courtesy runner scores easily to cushion the lead 2-0 after the first. Coon Rapids is going to be threatening coming up here in the 5th. Bases loaded, but Haley Jones blows the fastball past McKenna Ackerman to leave the runners stranded. Cardinals only gave up 2 runs in the first inning, but that's all Jones needed. She allowed just 4 hits with 8 strikeouts and a complete game shutout. Mackenzie Wilkins was the only one to figure her out. She went 3 for 3 against Jones, but ends in a 2-0 loss for the Cards. Tough one, another tough one for the Cardinals
yeah, it's
to drop.
Tough when you can't get your offense going, but Jones pretty impressive, those 8 strikeouts, and just kept them off balance all game. And, it's still encouraging, I think, when you see your staff go out there. This is a team that's put up quite a few runs throughout the season, so to hold that offense to 2, it says there's something to take away.
No doubt about it.
No question, the Cardinals had a lot of positives they could take from that loss to the Panthers, and they wanted to build on it by getting the offense going on Friday night. Senior night, under the lights at Al Flynn Park, and the Cardinals offense made a big-time appearance. Fridley Tigers were a team coming off back-to-back lopsided losses, and the Cardinals jumped on and added to the Tigers' struggles. Cardinals start the scoring with a big bottom half of the 2nd inning. Gabby Skibby with a perfect day at the plate. Her only official at bat is a seeing eye single through the right side of the infield. McKenna Ackerman scores from second. That was the 3rd run of the inning. Then with Skibby at second, 2 out, Julia Byrne driving it to left. Skibby with a good jump, rounds and scores without a throw. Cardinals on top 4-0. They pile it on in the 3rd. Bases loaded, nobody out. Jade Gomez finds a hole in the defense. Mackenzie Wilkins scores easily. Alyssa Hansen will come home as well. 6-1 at that point. Coon Rapids puts up more crooked numbers in the 5th and 6th innings. Gomez ready to run from 3rd, and she gets her chance on the single back through the box by Jackie Larson. Schmelzer will score also. The Cardinals rout the Tigers 12-1. That doubles the Cardinals' previous best offensive output. They'd scored 6 2 or 3 times this year, but they really cranked it up against Fridley.
Yeah, good to see, especially, coming off that 2-0 loss, that, come back and put those kind of runs on the board really helps this team as it's, approaching the end of the season, getting ready for those section playoffs coming up.
Yeah, they do have a busy week this week. But over the weekend on Saturday, they were at a tournament, good competition at the Cooper Invitational. They start against the Orono Spartans, and they come up with a 7-7 tie. Bailey Browen had a home run with 4 RBI. You know what that means. I believe that's a grand slam.
I believe you're right.
She could get usually those stats without it, but I'm going to go ahead and say grand slam. Mackenzie Wilkins went 2 for 2 with a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. Abby Graham was 2 for 3, as was Julia Byrne. Both came across the plate as well. Against Hudson, not so pretty. Cardinals lose that one 10-1. Mackenzie Wilkins takes the loss in the circle. 3 innings pitched, gave up 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 walks, and only 1 strikeout. And then against the host Hawks, Cardinals lose another tough one, 12-5 the final in that one. Brittany Buell went 1 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Abby Graham was 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Julia Byrne 1 for 3. Kayla Thoen is the losing pitcher, gave up 14 hits and 12 runs, only 7 of them earned. But I think only, I don't remember what it was. I think a total of like 9 or fewer of their 12 runs were earned. And that's the kind of thing the Cardinals want to try to avoid.
Absolutely.
They do bounce back with another double-digit outburst from the offense on Monday afternoon, beating the Park Center Pirates 10-0 in 5 innings. And now they've got 3 games to close out the regular season this week. They host Centennial on Tuesday. They're at Armstrong on Thursday, and then they host Andover on Friday.
Yeah, some good action coming up for them. And nice their last game today, obviously get 10 runs. Nice to see the offense back on track.
Well, and the only worry I think right now is looking at it, they go back and forth. You know, either their offense is on and their defense, everything's going one way, or everything goes the other way. Their defense goes away, and so does their offense at the same time. And come playoff time next week, they can't have that happen.
Well, and like I said, they've got 3 games to kind of correct that problem, try and correct it, and hopefully, you're right, hopefully they're a little more consistent on both sides of the ledger.
Absolutely.
Well, the weather kept the tennis teams off the court all last week, postponing a couple of big matches against new section opponents. It's not clear whether they're able to make up them as the Cardinals are entering the final week of the regular season. They wrapped up the conference schedule with a trip to Irondale to take on the Knights on Monday afternoon. Playing straight doubles on a beautiful afternoon. First up, Aaron Bauer and Drew Grimmer in the far court. Grimmer with a great play at the net, but the Cardinals are going to lose 4-6, 7-5, 4-6. Mike Frederickson serving at second doubles. He takes care of a point on his own. He and Stephen Yang win 6-4, 5-7, 7-5. Alex Fish and Brad Crotty up next. They take the advantage of the misplay for the point here. Fish and Crotty also lose in 3 sets, 3-6, 7-5, 4-6. Moa serving for the Cardinals in the fourth court, and his partner Nathan Bai just a spectator on this point. Moa gets the winner, but the Knights take the match 6-2, 6-2. Finally, it's Jared Musoff and Nate Murphy. They're going to be playing in the far court for the Cardinals. Once again, they win the point, but they're going to lose the match 3-6, 2-6. And that's going to be the final on that one, and the Cardinals are going to lose the overall match by a score of 4-1. An unusual match with just the 5 doubles games.
Yeah, and
in
I'm
that
not
one.
sure why they decided to do that in a conference matchup and so close to the end of the season, except for maybe both coaches wanted to see how some of their players cooperated, because as we know, Coach Storick not the only one. That will put some different lineups together for the tournament.
Absolutely.
And it does give them the opportunity to do that. The Cardinals will host Forest Lake on Tuesday this week. The Section 7 AA championships start next Monday. Track team had their True Team event last week. The Section 4 3A True Team event held on Tuesday. And for the boys, they finished in 8th place. 489.5 points. Some of your top finishers: Gullickson Journal, second in the pole vault with a 12-foot vault. Josh Tabla finished 5th in the triple jump, going just over 40 feet 2 inches. Tim Mandake, 8th place in the shot put. Nate Muggenberg, 8th place in the 2-mile run. Howe finished 9th place in the pole vault, so 2 guys in the top 10 at the pole vault. 4x800 relay team was 4th, and Soto finished 13th in the discus. For the girls, a little bit better finish. 6th place overall with 649 points. There are your first place finishes. Headland wins the 2-mile in 12 minutes, 12.92 seconds. Kamika Hurdle is up and over the bar at 9'6" to win the pole vault. Callie Harris finished 1st in the 300-meter. 3rd in the 100-meter. Cassie Dixon finished 3rd in the 400-meter dash. Anderson was 4th in the pole vault, so 1st and 4th for the girls pole vault team. Very nice day for them. And that is Brianna Clark in the 200-meter dash, finishing in 4th place, I think. It might be Brielle.
It could. Well, you have 50-50 chance at guessing which one it is.
I had both of them in there, and they both finished well in their events. And I only had room for one.
I understand. Nice 6th place finish, though, for the girls.
I'm not sure which one that is. I think it's Brianna, though. Cardinals are at Armstrong. Blaine will be there as well for a tri-meet on Tuesday. Northwest Suburban Conference Championships will take place next week. Boys golf team getting their final 2 Northwest Suburban Conference matches in last week despite the poor weather. On Tuesday, the Cardinals finished 9th. That's their best finish in a conference tournament this season. Mike Elson led the way with a 76, very solid 4 over par. Travis Hess an 81. Pearson shot a 91, gets a 92. Howells in with a 97, and Nick Hulseth shot a 98. On Thursday, score drops a little bit as the Cardinals fall to 13th place. But they only had, typically you take the 4 lowest scores out of your 6 golfers. I only saw 4 golfers on the list. So I don't know if they were shorthanded on Friday. But Mike Elson led the way with an 80. Travis Hess 1 stroke behind him. Howells had a 91, and Pearson had a 98. The Northwest Suburban Conference Championships will take place at Bunker Hills on Thursday, and then they will be back at the Gym of Coon Rapids next Wednesday for the Section 5 AAA Championships. Girls golf team, we talked about their match last Tuesday. They have not been in action since. They will host Blaine on Tuesday for their final regular season event. And then the Northwest Suburban Conference Championships will be on Friday. They also will be in section play next week. The boys section play will be at Bunker. Girls will not be at Bunker. I think they're at the Links, but don't quote me on that. I just know they're not at Bunker Hills. Lacrosse teams, boys lacrosse went to Andover on Wednesday last week and lost that one 11-5, dropping their record to 0-10. They host Totino Grace on Monday night this week and are at Armstrong on Wednesday. Girls lacrosse finally, but certainly last but not least, girls lacrosse team, check out that score. And then think about halftime. It was a 1-goal game.
Crazy.
And
they stepped it up, to say the least, in the second half.
Coach DeJoy went in and fired the girls up a little bit.
He did.
Said, basically you can't let these teams hang around. You have to go out and put the hammer down. And they did just that and walk away with an 11-goal victory. Helen Nelson with 10 points, 8 goals, 2 assists. Lily Hackett with 7 points, 4 goals, 3 assists. And Callie Turner with 4 points, a goal and 3 assists. All personal bests for those young ladies. Bolin added 2 goals and an assist, and Allie Misquick had a pair of goals as well. And Cardinals at Totino on Monday night. They will host Armstrong on Thursday.
A little chat with Coach DeJoy today, and the Cardinals defense #1 in the conference right now, number 8 in the state. So, typically defense for Coon Rapids always strong. And you look at their offense starting to pick it up, 19 goals in their last contest. They're playing well despite the 3 losses on the season.
Well, and that's the one challenge they have come tournament time, is being able to keep that offense at a high level against some of those other very tough defenses. Yep. We saw in that match at Osseo Park Center what happens when a really good they run into a good defensive team. It takes a lot longer to find inroads to get out into the good shooting positions. I'm really impressed with Osseo Park Center's defensive effort last week. I talked to Coach DeJoy before the game, and he was concerned about it. And when the game came in, you saw why. But again, now, get into that playoffs, you see them again, maybe you have an answer for that defense.
Well, yeah, and on a positive note, even though you've got the 3 losses, 2 of those losses were by 1 goal. So, you take that into finish off the season, then you go into that section. It's a pretty good section, no doubt, but Cardinals are going to be right there at the top.
Yeah, well, having a lower seed may not be such a bad thing.
Maybe
Who
not.
knows? Well, we've got a lot of action coming up for you here on CTN. We've got Under the Lights at Wintercrest. Live coverage on Tuesday night starts at 7:15, and then it's playoff time, and we will follow the Cardinals as far as we can. That's going to do it for this edition of Sportsnight. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young saying good night.